Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Um, so I'm in my car, but I'm not driving, so please don't freak out and start posting all sorts of stuff about doing this while I'm driving. I'm not driving. I'm parked and I'm safe. Today I'm going to be probably a little bit all over the map here. Not sure how exactly to approach what I want to talk about today. So I guess I'll just dive right into what's been going on. Um, I talk, for some reason, I talk quite a bit about things that sort of relate to either indirectly or directly to mental health. Um, it's a it's a subject that's very prevalent in my life and has been for quite some time, and even more so than probably I've been willing to admit on a personal level. Um, it's a subject that I think we hear about on a regular basis in our society today, on social media, in the news, talk shows, articles. It seems everyone's talking about mental health. Um, what I'm realizing though is that very few people are really addressing it and really speaking to the heart of it with any real conviction. We sort of, for the most part, pay it lip service. There's a lot of platitudes that get thrown around, and that's about it. And for the most part, we still allow people to, and not just allow. We actually ask them to suffer in silence. It's funny that I see a lot of people making fun and making comments about snowflakes and needing a safe space, and it gets politicized, and I don't want to go there at all today. But one thing I have realized, when you're in the middle of distress, there's no such thing as a fucking safe space. So that's something that I think we've created to put those people into. It's not something they've chosen or we've chosen. Um, it's, oh, you're in pain, you're suffering, you're hurting. Here, go into this safe space and come out when you're normal again. Um, it doesn't work. There is no safe space. Um, anyways, back to getting back on track. Uh, 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks, I don't know, what day is it? Tuesday. About 2 weeks ago, I had a panic attack, and it's I've had them before, but it's been a long time, close to 20 years since I had my last panic attack. Um, and I come on here regularly and I talk about, if you're hurting, if you're in pain, if you're desperate, if you're feeling down, reach out, get help, talk to a friend, talk to a therapist, talk to your doctor. And I'm a hypocrite because I wasn't doing that. I was pretending everything was okay. I was putting on this brave front, as we so often do, and acting like I had it all together. And I'm realizing now, obviously, that a lot of the things I have people like, why are you going on Facebook and talking about this stuff? And I'm realizing now, well, I'm doing it for me, because when I'm alone, when I'm talking to myself, I don't say these helpful things. I don't give myself that loving guidance. My self-talk is consistently a negative feedback loop of not being good enough. And when I am feeling anxious or depressed, and since these last 2 weeks, I've lived almost daily with a level of anxiety that is intense and unbelievable for me. And the self-talk through that is, what the hell is wrong with you? Why can't you pull your shit together? Figure it out. There's nothing wrong here. You can handle this. You can figure this out. Like, quit being such a wuss. Quit dragging everyone around you down. Um, so we wonder why our society has such a challenge at addressing mental health issues, and we tell people, if you're suffering, reach out. But when you're in the middle of it, and that's the self-talk, that's the messaging that we're telling ourselves. How do we crack through that as a society to start creating a different message, and to remove the stigma from mental health, when even those who are suffering from it, um, like myself, aren't just experiencing the stigma, we're perpetuating it. We're magnifying it. And I'm not saying everybody is like this, but I am certain that it's common. I don't think I am in any way unique in this scenario. I think it's incredibly common. I think that's part of the cycle of the mental health issues that we have, is whatever it is that's causing the anxiety or the depression or the rage or the grief, any of that stuff, whatever's causing that, is there's a root there. But then it becomes, like I said, this negative feedback loop, where we not only then are we blaming ourselves and shaming ourselves for the cause, but we're also blaming and shaming ourselves for the reaction. And it becomes this vicious cycle of shame and grief and anger and it's all directed inward. And when you're in it, it's so hard to see past it. So I started seeing somebody on last Saturday, because it occurred to me that here I come out and I talk to people and I say, like, if you're suffering, get some help. And I wasn't doing that, so I finally sucked it up and reached out, and I'm getting some help. I'm seeing someone weekly right now, which will help. I've booked an appointment to see my family doctor as well. I'm going to use the resources that are available to me. I'm gonna get the help that I need, so that I can continue helping others, whether it's even if it's just through sharing my story and what I'm going through. Because I don't think, like I said, I don't think I'm unique here. I don't think this is uncommon. I think the only uncommon part about it is sharing it and speaking about it openly and honestly, and from a raw, vulnerable place. So I encourage all of you today, if you're suffering, if you're hurting, if you're in pain that you can't manage anymore, reach out, get some help, talk to someone, even if that's just somebody close to you who you can trust to start that conversation, and then take it to another level. But don't listen to the negative self-talk voice in your head that tells you that you should just be fine and just suck it up and choose to get better. You can choose to get better. You can choose to ask for help, and you can choose to use some of the amazing resources that are available in this country to get that help. And talk about it, please. Let's shine a light on this. We talk about Bill, let's talk, and we see posts on social media, I'm here to talk. Well, let's call people's bluff on that. Let's put it to the test. Let's actually talk about it. Let's get this out in the open and examine it and see it for what it is, and bring some humanity to our interaction around it, and understand that this is something that's incredibly common. We're not alone. There's help and support out there, and we can get better. I can get better. We can heal, and we can get back to a life that we were meant to live, and that's one where we are free internally to pursue our happiness, to pursue our joys, and to share that with the people around us and the world around us, and make the world a better place. All right, that was a lot more than I was expecting to get out today. Thank you for listening. Thank you again for continued love and support. And I guess on that note, I'll see you next Tuesday.